Hello. What's up? Mi amor, búscalo. Okay, guys. So today we have here NASDAQ. I'm expecting today lower prices to just rip this through. Why? Because that's going to be very wonderful for the market. So here we have the opening week gap being respected. As you can see, we can maybe go and sweep this high here, and then after that we can go back down. Okay, don't get fooled by the market thinking you are going to be going higher, because that's not gonna be the case. If it happens, that's going to be just an abnormal movement from the market. Okay, it's not going to be something normal, if we can call it like that. Okay, so also we have the opening range of the day today. So this is the high, and this is gonna be the low. Let me put it a bit here so we can see it. Okay, so yeah, look here, we are playing around these two ranges. Also, I like to be like following the opening range with the previous range. Okay, so right now we are like here, see. So let me see if we have news for today. You have always to check for news, so you can see if maybe there's gonna be some kind of manipulation during the day. So right now we don't have anything more than FOMC. It could move the market a little bit fast. So yeah, here I'm going to take a trade because I think we are going to be moving the market really fast right now to the downside. If somehow we reverse, sorry for my puppy, if somehow we reverse, I'm going to be taking out my trade. Why? Because this movement down, for me, it shouldn't, sorry guys, it shouldn't be happening right now. But at the same time, I think it would be a great moment just to start to create the movement lower, because today we are ripping the market. Today we are going really low. This gap that we have in here, that is a 4-hour gap that we have. Let me show you. So you see this gap here, this is the one that I have marked. Okay, so we could probably go higher, and let me, that's my puppy, I'm sorry. So we could probably go higher and rip through this liquidity that is the Asian range high, and we're going to, that's going to be a fake movement. After that, we're going to just continue going lower. So I expect that to happen only in a scenario where the market is trying to play games, you know. So that's the only way I want to see the market playing games. That goes up and then immediately it goes to the downside, which wouldn't be nice. I think here is a very nice moment to just start going bottom, to just start creating momentum to the downside, and so we can create a strong movement to the bottom. Okay, so guys, give me one moment. My puppy is destroying my shoes. Y este es el paraíso. Juega conmigo.
¿Lo subo?
¿No quieres? Okay guys, so I'm back here. My puppy is playing with all of my things. Just look at her. She's just a baby, right? You're gonna see her when she's really grown. Say hi. Hello. My dad is gonna be really rich. Okay guys, so yeah, as I was saying, I expect the market to continue going lower right now, because it would be a great momentum to just start creating the gap. Okay, so why I say that, because the market usually will tend to create a gap between the two sides. If we keep playing around this and we don't create a gap either to the two sides, it's going to be very hard to know when it is going to want to start the movement to the downside. Okay, so I'm going to put another color in here so we can difference the gap from the rest. I think white could work. Okay, so the white square that we have, as I said, is going to be, that's the gap that by the moment has been created. Okay, so what I expect is that the gap keeps expanding to the downside, at least to this position, and during the opening we just leave it to the downside, and then around 10:15, 10:30 we go back to the consequent encouragement of that gap. Why not to fill the gap? Because if we fill the gap, we don't want to continue going lower, and we will go lower today. For me, the market will rip today. If we don't rip the market today, we will do it on Thursday. Okay, so either of the 2 days we will need to rip it. Yes, I know that many people will think that because of we created a higher low than the previous low, that's like a sign to not keep going lower. But trust me, the market loves to do that. And as I said, if it doesn't happen today, it will happen on Thursday, but we will have the rip of the market really soon. Okay, and we have some divergency with other markets like Bitcoin. I know that you will say, okay, how do you know that this correlates to Bitcoin? If you do some back testing with Bitcoin and NASDAQ, you will realize they have some sort of similarity. Okay, So yeah, Bitcoin has been keep going up, and as you saw, NASDAQ just created a lower low, sorry, a lower high. You see, the highest high, the next high was lower than the next high, than the previous high. Then we had a lower high previous to the previous one. Then we created a higher high to the previous high, but then we just kept creating lower highs as the market continued running. Okay, so yeah, like that's my expectation for today. I will have a stop loss that is going to be really tight. I'm just going to risk 15 points. I'm not gonna risk more than that. And if we get stopped out, I will re-enter in the movement. So just waiting for the confirmation. But right now I think it was a very nice spot to just get in, because as I said, it will start to create the gap for the market. Okay, so as I'm expecting a movement to the downside and a gap to the downside, this is the very best moment to create it. Why? Because we already came back to the opening of the day, to the opening gap. As you can see here, it's these pink lines that you see here. So we already came back to these pink lines, we went above it, and then we started to reverse. Okay, so just so for your understanding, when we went back up, the gap was here to the buy side, you know, so we were creating a gap to the buy side. But the market will not do that. The market will tend to go lower. Sorry guys, my account just got out. Let me just re-enter. Okay. Okay, so yeah, as I was explaining, when the market crossed above this gap, we started to create a gap to the upside. So if we want to go higher, or if we want to maybe fake people out, yes, we will create a gap higher. But I don't think that's gonna be the case today. As I said, it could happen. For me, it's not very probable that it happens, but it could. So we went above it, and then we started to reverse. And as you can see, it is already 9:11. We start making the gap bigger. It's getting bigger and bigger, and for me, we are going to keep going down really easily, at least to here. Okay, but 100 points, it's very, that's just too small for the market. Okay, that's too small. So that's the reason why the market will continue going down, because the market will say, okay, so I made an opening range gap of 100 points. What the fuck is that, bro? I can make a 300. Just as you said, I made $1,000 and I can make fucking $5,000. The market says the same. Why did I make 100 points when I can make 400? Why? Am I a pussy? Is the market saying? You know. So coming back down here are very realistic targets for today, and why not lower prices? Okay. So for me, it will happen everything before 10:15 a.m. So for me, this big movement that you see will happen all before 10:15 a.m. Okay? And you will say to yourself, well, that's not enough. Trust me. The market says, bro, that's just the bare minimum. You know, that is just the bare minimum I could go, because I could go lower. You see, so right now we have $200 profit. That's fantastic, but we will go lower, of course. So here we're holding. This is something that I wouldn't like to see just before the opening time, that is at 9:30. We usually tend to go back to the opening of the gap, you know, and from there we either decide to do something. But since this gap is not that big, as I said, I'm expecting the gap to expand to the downside, okay, before the opening. So that's why I'm not worried. But if for some reason the opening gap is just back and forth in the same range, I will wait for confirmation. Why? Because we can go either the two sides. We can either go first to sweep this Asian range high and fake people to the buy side, you know, and then rip all through the downside, or we can just take some time and by 10 a.m. or before 10 a.m. like 9:45, we can start going all the way down, which for me wouldn't be the best option if you ask me. But also, if you see, we don't have like a harmonic structure. We don't have equal lows, we don't have equal highs. But if you check, we have a more perfect place in the buy side. And so I know ICT says that we tend to go for the side that looks more harmonic. But when the market doesn't decide where to go, and also the market goes first, always for the, as ICT says, goes for the jacked part of the market, which for me is the downside. Okay, for me, the jacked part is the downside. Yes, maybe here it can look like the jacked part is the buy side, but for me, this is the jacked part. Look, not equal lows, never, but equal highs, equal highs, equal highs, equal highs, equal highs. So for me, the jacked part is the downside. So that's why I'm aiming for the lower side of the market. And on Tuesdays or Thursdays, we tend to go really, really, really low. At least 200 or 300. That's the bare minimum, you know. So I'm expecting today really short position. Yesterday we had a $168 points range, which for me is mediocre for the market, for what the market can give. Okay, so yeah, right now we just wait to see how the market is going to expand to the downside. As I said, yes, it could take some time, but for me it's going to be very easy to go. We're going to go straight all the way down, at least here. Okay, Why? Because at 10 a.m., 10:15, we tend to look for some higher liquidity. Okay, so that's the reason why. Okay, we still have the probability that we go higher first. As I said, we can come back and take this Asian range and just go back down. Okay, if we go to the Asian range high, you will need to wait until 10, 10:15, probably until 11 a.m. To wait for the confirmation to the downside. Also, it could happen just in the afternoon, and by 2 p.m. you can be having the movement that you want to the downside. Why? It's because we are forming the market to go lower. That's the reason why I'm expecting the market to go lower. Are we going higher? I don't know, but it could happen. It all depends on how hard today and on Thursday we drop. Okay, so it all depends on that, how hard we drop. Okay, if we check the daily, let me see the daily, what's happening here. So if you see the daily, we tend to go lower, you see. So we can go lower today just to fill this gap. 900 is where I'm aiming, you see. I'm telling you, that's where I'm aiming. Just in this gap, look, 200 points. This is gonna be 400 points. If we don't do this today, we will do it on Thursday. Okay, and tomorrow we could probably have some movements higher. Okay, but higher as a form of retracement, because today I'm expecting lower prices. If it doesn't happen, well, that's fine. I mean, you can have mistakes. You are not perfect, but anyways, you have to be careful when you are in these markets, and you need to know what you are doing. Okay, so as you see, we keep expanding the gap. It's getting bigger as the time passes. So yeah, just wait to see how it delivers. As I'm expecting it to get here in a really easy manner, like to get here in a really easy manner. I don't want to see hard drops. I want to see it just like butter and go lower. Okay, so right now we are starting to reverse. As I told you before the opening, we tend to go back to the opening range, to the start of the opening gap. So this could be the moment where that happens. That for me it shouldn't be. For me, we should leave the gap intact until we reach the lower liquidity that I've been telling you. Okay. So yeah, I mean, we just wait here. If we get too close to my entry before the opening, I will close it. Why? Because that will mean that we will maybe want to play around here and then decide where to go. Okay, so I don't care too much about it, because I'm going to create another because this can be just the gap, the fair value gap. This can be it. So that's why I don't worry too much about that retracement, because it can be the fair value gap that we will check later. Okay, so it could be, I'm not saying it's gonna be, it could be. So yeah, it could be the fair value gap that we're going to respect, or it cannot be, and that's it. So look how we started to retrace. We left a fair value gap here, at least until now, We don't know if that's gonna be a fair value gap, you know. And right now it is kind of matching with the consequent encouragement of the gap that is forming. You see? So yeah, I mean, we just have to wait to see what happens. By now, this is the fair value gap that was created between those two candles, and you know that when that happens, the market tends to continue its direction. In this case, to the downside. But we will need still to wait because we are 7 minutes away from the opening. So we will need to just chill, see how it delivers, see how it keeps developing, and that's it. So yeah, I really love to just follow the movement, you know. I know some people will just wait, but for me this is some visual insight of how the market is delivering, because I have some previous bias before I enter the market. So this previous bias, if I follow the opening range during or before the opening time, I can have the idea if my bias is going to be followed or not. Just like in this case, if I see that the gap it starts to get smaller, that's going to be a trouble for me, that that what I'm waiting is not going to happen that fast. You see? So right now we just expand to the downside. We left this as a fair value gap, unless in the next 5 minutes we decide to go higher. It can happen. Yes, we just swept this liquidity here. So usually when that happens, the market will tend to rip through it. Okay, so we just sweep it. Now I expect the market to continue going on. Right now we will need to get here fast. In these 5 minutes we should get here fast. Why? Because if we don't do that and we don't get 100 points in the next 5 minutes, the market will have some troubles to continue going lower as fast as I want it to do. Okay, so the best scenario for me would be that we come here in the next 5 minutes that we have. In the next 4 minutes that we have, I want the market to just drop drastically to there. Okay, right now we have dropped only 22 points, 20 points, which, as I said, it's basically nothing for the market. So yeah, here we just wait to see how it delivers. So I don't put the stop losses, not because I don't know where my race is gonna be, but because sometimes due to I trade ICT concepts, but I go a little bit beyond, and I don't trade fair value gaps, you know, or displacements, you know, because I know I can catch highs, bottoms, or tops, you know. So just like in this case, I think it's the best top scenario to take. Okay, and also I have the expectation we could go higher. That's why for me the highest I could stand would go beyond this high, you see, which for me is 15 points. That's it. I'm not going to risk more than 15 points. That for me it represents $200. Okay, so right now we are having the fast movements before the opening. Anything could happen here. Anything could happen here. Just listen to me. We could either go higher and sweep the Asian range high, or we could go lower. I stand with my bias of going lower, so I'm going to hold a drawdown a little bit. Okay, just going to mark this. Okay, look how we almost swept all of that. Okay, so yes, this could happen, that's fine. This is going to be my stop loss basically. So 1 minute away from the opening, it happened what I didn't want to happen, which is playing around the opening gap. We didn't open as wide as I would have wanted to do, but still I hold my lower prices, so that's fine. This is not anymore the gap because we already filled that gap, as you can see here. So yeah, I mean, we can reverse all the way back up to here, and from here reverse again. The market usually tends to do those kind of candles. So if that's gonna happen, we will need to get there in this minute and sweep it. Okay, but for now I'm going to hold my position. Okay, opening is coming. Okay, here we have the opening. I don't like this because if you see my stream from yesterday, you will see that the first movement that we have usually is the failed displacement to where we actually want to go, meaning we really want to go lower, but it failed to do so. And this could mean we could go up first, as we are doing in here. I'm going to hold a little bit. Okay, I'm going to give it some time to deliver, to do something. I want to see it respecting this. If it doesn't do it, that's fine. I'm going to hold, guys, because it's not like I marry with my bias, but I'm pretty sure we will go lower. And I have my risk management, that is this blue line here. If we get here, I'm going to be closing my trade. Okay, I don't manage stop losses, but I have clear what my risk is. Okay, so as you see, look, this is the same example from yesterday. Yesterday we did the same thing, but to the buy side. Yesterday our first movement was to the buy side. We failed to do so, and we immediately moved lower. What's the difference between this opening and in yesterday's opening? That here our first movement was a lower movement. We failed, we went higher, but now we recovered and we closed in a down close candle. Yesterday we moved to the buy side, failed, and started moving lower, and we closed in an opposite candle to the initial movement, which was a downside candle. Okay, so today we failed to go lower, but we closed lower. So for me, that's very fantastic, you see. So right now, as I said, we will need to go lower, and for me it has to be a rapid move to the downside. Why? Because we have lots of liquidity there. Okay, the market is waiting for us, and it's saying, okay, who got in the right? We are going lower, guys. That's what the market is saying. Okay, so right now we have 500. That's fantastic. So let's follow it in proximity closer to see how it reacts. Okay, so today I'm going to also feel content with 100 candles, 100 points, sorry, So this is going to be fantastic for me to just come down here. Okay, I don't like how this is reacting to the buy side. Usually we don't tend to go higher by 933. It could happen, yes, I'm not saying it can't happen, but it's like a form of tendency, you know. So if we get close and back up just like we are doing here, okay, let me close it in profit. If we do another thing like that, I'm closing it. Why? Because the market will want to reverse before the drop. Okay, so sometimes when we drop just that fast, the market tends to do this kind of reversals that are crazy as fuck, you know. But yeah, I mean, I still hold the tendency to the downside because we should be dropping today really hard. If we don't, that's okay. It'll happen on Thursday anyway. So okay. So okay. So I'm closing it because it's getting too close to where I don't want it to go, and we will probably go higher. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I didn't want this to happen. I didn't want this to go higher, but it could happen. So that was inside the risk. Okay, it's okay, we don't care. I'm still expecting lower movements. Okay, so this is habitual to the market to happen because it was too fast to the downside. I'm kind of wanting to take a trade here. Let me see, yeah, I'm taking a trade here. It's fine, a little bit risky. Okay, a little bit risky, so don't try out this at home, guys. But for me, this is going to be the stop for the running higher. If it doesn't, okay, I was mistaken. Okay, so I'm going to be putting here my stop loss just there. So, just there, around 12 points. Okay, so this is the classical Judah swing. Okay, Judah swing goes until 9:45, around that time. So here the Judah swing was interrupted in this movement to the buy side. It was interrupted, so we will need to recover that. How? Going lower, of course. So yeah, here we were stopped out. That's okay. Let's see how it reacts. I'm going to be taking another trade lower. It's okay, guys. We just lost 100. It's okay. It's our inside risk plan. So I'm going to trade here to the downside. Let me see. We are close to the Asian range high, so we will probably go to sweep it, but I'm not very sure because this could be just the sweep on liquidity, and then we can just start going over. So that's it. See how we respected it. So yeah, here we go. This is our last trade of this time. Okay, if we lose this trade, we are going to be done for the day. Say something, yeah. And yeah, I mean, that's okay. So here I would expect the market to drop. It didn't do the hard drop as I wanted, but as I said, it has to either happen today or happen on Thursday. It is very normally to happen on Tuesdays. That's why I was expecting it. But as you're seeing this, sometimes it doesn't deliver like it should be. And as I said, if we go higher first, that's gonna be something abnormal for the market to do. Why? Because the market was supposed to go lower today, and maybe it's going to go lower, but maybe not yet. Okay, so right now we just wait to see how it delivers. I don't see the market going that low today, probably just here again one more time, which is very sad. But on Thursday, if we don't have today the big movement, on Thursday we will have it. Okay, so yeah, right now we just wait, we just chill to see how it delivers. It finally started to drop. That's fine. How do I know these kind of things? Bro, I've been back testing, studying like minute by minute, second by second. This is like a very scientific thing, you know? So yeah, I'm working on that. So okay guys, 1 second. So let's see how it reacts. Let's see how it reacts. Yeah, some people will say, okay, you cannot catch tops or bottoms. Well, I actually did here. I just didn't want to close it because I know the market could give more. This was something I had inside my risk, that the market could go higher. So I stand like a man, you know. So yeah, right now we just give it time to see what it does. We can have a tendency to continue going higher, which for me will not happen, but the market is expert in doing what you don't want to happen. So there's actually I've seen that on social media, some sort of people that doesn't know what they're doing, that say if you think the market is going somewhere, go the opposite way. And for some people somehow it works and they're profitable like that, just guessing and saying, okay, I think the market is going lower, so I'm going higher. Because the market loves to do that. And well, maybe they're not that wrong, because the sentiment of the market plays a big role in where the market goes. As I said, some people will think we will continue going higher after such a big movement. But look what happened yesterday, and look what is going to happen today. People will think just because we made a higher low, we are going to respect that and not rip it. But the sentiment of the market is what moves the market, you know. So yeah, right now we're getting a nice setup to the downside, and I hope it to respect it. So let's see. It already wasted the time to continue going higher. And when I mean wasted the time, is that usually it has a specific times where it likes to reverse or to continue going in its direction. Where I took the trade, I took it at 9:59, which is not a time where the market tends to reverse, but since we had this sort of rejection, that's why I felt confident in going lower, because you know, those are, as I said, some investigation that I've done. Those are like some patterns that the market likes to follow. Okay, so right now we are below again the opening gap. Here is a very decisive moment, because we can take this as a retracement to continue going higher, or we can either continue going lower. That's why it's very risky, and that's why ICT says to wait for a second displacement, because this is the first displacement. You will need to see what happened after. If we made a second displacement, once we made that second displacement, go for the fair value gap and continue going lower. You see? So here we have one displacement. Why don't take these two as displacements? Because we didn't create fair value gaps. So this is the unique displacement that we had. Did we continue going higher? No, we didn't. So that's why we started going lower. You see? So here we will need to wait a second displacement, just as ICT says, to see if the market really wants to rip or not. If we have a second displacement, we will go lower. Now, my minimum target was this. This is my minimum target. This black square that you have here, rectangle. But since we had that sweep on a higher liquidity, I'm expecting the market to stop around here. Okay, so that's gonna be where my take profit is gonna be, around that price. Okay, so right now we're just playing some games. So yeah, we just wait. Just wait. Okay. As I said, this could be used as a form of retracement to go higher. Remember, we haven't swept the Asian range high yet. Okay, so we could be going for the Asian range before the drop. It could be happening. Okay, and it is just here, the Asian range. Okay, it's close. It left it by 12 points, so this can be seen as some sort of retracement to take it and then drop. So we will need to be careful to manage our risk and expectations from the market. Okay, so I would like to see a sweep on this, even if we don't continue going lower immediately, because that's gonna mean we have the intention to go lower, so by now we already swept these two. That's fantastic, but there's two remaining, so yeah, let's just wait. Amazing. This is just amazing that the market does it. It's very fantastic. So yeah, this is the second displacement. I would like to say that this here, to consider it amazing displacement. Okay, if we don't do so, maybe the next one is going to be it. So we still don't have a displacement. This was not a displacement. Okay. So yeah, this is very simple, guys. You really don't have too much to be doing. You just wait. As I said, we are still in the momentum of using this as a sort of retracement to continue going higher. So don't fall for the trap of thinking this is going to give you the immediate drop, okay? Because this can be used as retracement to continue going higher. So you see how it goes. So you have to be careful, we have to be careful because many things could happen here. Okay. So now let's see what happens. Let's see how it delivers. Let's see how it works. Since we didn't make a big gap to the downside, since we stopped here, since we interrupted the swing with this big movement to the buy side, since all of those stops, my mind right now is being really, really careful with the movements. Why? Because anything could happen. The market could give us higher prices or lower prices. You see? And even though I'm expecting lower prices, unless at least to here, we can still go higher and take the Asian range high. As I said, we're really, really, really close to that. You see? So I think I'm closing my trade here. Wait, because as I said, we haven't decided where to go. We are still respecting this fair value gap. So we are still respecting it. We haven't done anything, and as ICT says, sweeps on fair value gaps are fine. But remember my words before. ICT always says you need a second displacement to make sure your trade is gonna be safe. Okay? It's not 100% guaranteed, but it's safer than doing it in this way. Okay? In your first displacement, you go and enter. You are risky. Why? Because we can reverse. Okay? So you have to take that into account. So we are getting close to a time where we have to decide what to do. Okay? We have to decide whether we want to go higher or lower. Right now, for me, we don't have higher expectations, even though there's the possibility to go here. For me, it's not very probable to happen. I think the sweep on this liquidity was what the market needed, but who knows? It can happen. So let's see. We are in a very nice position, okay, to either go to either of the two sides. So, and I think we are in a premium price. We took the trade in a premium price, okay. So yeah, let's wait. Right now seems like we want to reverse, so I'm closing my trade. Yes sir, I think I'm closing it. Let's see. We have to give it some time because, as I said, this time from 9:50 to 10 a.m. is a time where the market tends to decide. Okay. So okay, it's fine. I'm going to be closing it. Oh shit, it went away. You give it some time, a little bit more, to see if we can reverse. We just left a gap here. Oh shit. Yeah, we're going for the Asian range liquidity first, so I think I'm closing it here. Let me see. Okay. Okay, 1 second, because we can just make a second sweep on this liquidity and reverse. Because as I said, this time is very difficult because it makes some back and forth movements. So look how we failed again to go through that liquidity. You see how we failed to go? So let's see if we now go higher. I can hold it. It's inside my risk. Okay. Well, it actually wants to go higher. With the closing of this candle being that high, the only way not to go higher, it would be to go back down here in the next 7 minutes before the 15-minute candle ends. I base all of my trades in 15-minute candles. That's why I keep looking here, because yes, we can be doing this back and forth. I don't care about that shit. You see? I don't care. All of this back and forth shit, I don't give a fuck about it, you know? Because I know we will need to decide. And also, we made another failed on continue sweeping to the buy side. You see? So we could probably come back down here. And from here, I will need to see if we want to keep playing fucking games and go back to the middle point again to this position after coming back down here, or if we want to go higher. Okay, so let's see what happens. Let's see how it delivers right now. That's why I don't like to put the stop losses in the way I trade, because as you can see here, what if I put it just here? Look what it did. You see? So okay, I don't like this, not gonna lie. But as I said, this is a very important time where we decide where to go. Okay, we can keep going higher, or we can play games to the downside. So we still have 5 minutes for the 15 minutes candle to close. Okay, so keep looking at how it keeps reacting. We go up, we keep going down. Go up and we keep going down. And yeah. So let's wait to see what happens. This for me is some sort of breaker, high, low, higher, high, which would mean that we will go lower according to ICT, right? So yeah. Okay, we just got to 10 a.m. We didn't do what I wanted to see, which is very disappointing for the market. I was expecting better outcome from the market. So right now, yes, if we continue going higher, I will close it. I think I'm going to put here the stop loss. Okay, it took our stop loss there. That's fine. Now we will wait to see any confirmation to the downside. And we already have 400, so that's okay. We were in the initial wrong side of the market. Are we going that high? No, we are not going that high. Okay. So look, we just swept the Asian range high. I kind of want to take the trade here, but I think we're going to go a little bit. Okay, it left me, so if we go back up, I'm going to take another position. Okay. Remember never um, to take another position or another entry when the market is doing its movement, because it can make a retracement and that's gonna affect you really bad. Okay, so yeah, I mean, as I said, the market loves to play games. You can see how we just sweep that liquidity and we immediately went down. Market things, what can you do? So yeah, if we get a to the Asian range high or a little bit higher, I'm going to be entering with another position. Okay, so right now here we just wait. We don't care because this is all noise. The real movement is going to be to the downside. That's the real movement. Don't let the market fool you with these rapid movements to the buy side, okay? So here we just chill, can even go to sleep, and the market will get here, okay? It's gonna be easy, 110 points. So that's fine, just wait. We just wait, guys. It's okay. If you ask yourself why I don't care too much about the retracements, is because I have a big movement coming. You know? And yeah, maybe today I usually don't do that, you know, but today I had some big entries where I could have maybe take some profit out of them, but I didn't do it. Usually I don't do that because I tend to pay the trader, as ICT says, just pay the trader and then do whatever you want. Risk a little bit of that profit if you want, but stay with some. I didn't do it today. I don't know why. So yeah. So well, we just wait here. As I said, I know I'm not mirroring a bias. I know we are going lower. Okay. I have that clear in my mind. If it doesn't happen today, the rip through the lows will happen on Thursday, okay, or Wednesday. I don't think it's gonna happen tomorrow, but it could. So yeah, I mean, just wait, just wait. It's already 10 a.m. Classical macro 10, 10, 15. Here we go. Okay, we just wait, guys. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Easy movement, easy. I mean, easy. This is just too easy. I mean, yeah, I mean, sometimes just as it happened live here, just as you see, we lose, you know? We lose some points, but I lost 20, 25 points. I already have 40 points in the back, so I'm already uh, half of profit above my losses. Yes, I should take the profit, but I know it will go lower. So, as I said, some days you win, some days you lose, so that's okay. If it happens, um, some days the market doesn't give you easy movements, some days it does. But I'm confident we will need to get lower today. That's why I hold my trades for too long. Maybe for many of you, maybe I should already take the profit and those things, but I know we should get lower. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I think the market will kinda don't want to go that low today. I would like it to go really low. Maybe it won't do it, but um, I think it's going to come at this here. Okay, I don't like these reversals. They're like a pain in the ass. But um, we are 10 minutes away from this candle to finish. And when we have these kind of drops that are fast, we tend to do the same fast retracements. Okay, always based in a 50-minute candle. If you have a big drop in a 50-minute candle, big and fast, like in 5 minutes you drop 80 points, you could probably have the same reversal in the next 5 minutes. Okay, so right now we have dropped all of these in just 3 minutes. You see, 3 minutes, 6 minutes. So we could have the same reversal. So you always have to keep that in mind when you are trading. Okay, so yeah, right now we just touched the Asian range low. I want to see how we go through it. This is our profit. We're already 600 profit. Remember, we lost 400 before this movement, so whatever. I really want the 100 points there, but since we keep going back and forth, I'm going to be really careful with this, really careful, because we could be just reversing here. So I don't want to see that. If I get to, yeah, let me see. You have to be really careful here because we keep playing back and forth, so we can make another one to the buy side. Okay, it could happen, so you better be careful right now. Okay, right now I'm like in the click close, because if we made another reversal, it's gonna be like to the midpoint of all that drop. Okay, so that's the reason why I just rather to secure here, because you know anything could happen. So right now, yeah, great, fantastic. Keep dropping, yeah, amazing. Another displacement here would be just the cherry on the top of the ice cream, but could happen, could not happen. So I'm just closing it here, and We made $600 profit. That's fantastic. We could have made 1,000, yeah. But as I said, when you have um, big and fast drops that are quick, you tend to reverse. So I'm going to be taking another entry if I see that the movement higher is not uniform. Okay, like if we go like in a stupid way, like we run without being like harmonic to the buy side, I will take another trade to the downside. But if they are like straight movements like this, I will think about it twice. So yeah, we're doing the movement here. If I enter here, you will say, okay, you're crazy because you already closed the trade just to close to it. Yes, but sometimes it makes this more retracement. You know? So let's wait. We're still 5 minutes away from this candle to end, and as I said, we are playing games back and forth. So this could be the last 50 minutes candle to create before the drop. Just as I said, guys, we could come back down here and go back up. I told you it can happen, just like it is happening. And if you see all this back and forth, you see, this is going to be the last candle before we decide to either go higher or lower. Okay, and if not, today is not the best day, and feel content with whatever the market provided to you. Okay, we had easily 70 points movement. Yeah, that's fantastic. 70-point movement. Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want that? So here I will wait. We just crossed this fair value gap. We're touching it. We could be reversing off of it, but since we are playing games, the more ethic thing to do would be come back up here. So you will say, okay, Karma, so if you know these things happen, why don't you take the top, the bottom, the top, the bottom? Why don't you do that? Because it's very simple. You are not sure if he wants to play these kind of games. Okay, maybe in the future when my investigation gets more specific and a little bit more detailed, and I get along with more people and I can investigate with and share my thoughts and share everything I know in the market, maybe that day we all will be able to catch every top, every bottom that the market offers, because the market is rigged. The market is manipulated. The market doesn't care about buyers, about sellers, about fucking anything. And just like I described to you the opening, I didn't have risk in the opening. Look, I had 40 points here. Most of you don't even make 10 points. I'm playing games with 40. I don't even care. I don't even close it. And I went on drawdown. And then I came here and I took the top here. And I had 35, another 35 points. And I didn't care about 35 points. Most of you cannot even do 20. Most of you do 20. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm saying is you can make a lot more because you know what is happening and you don't care because this happens every day. So I had here 40, I had here 35. Yes, it accumulates, but these kind of retracements are some sort of difficult to guess. Okay, so or to know that they're gonna happen. That's why ICT waits for confirmations and tells you to wait for confirmations, because he doesn't need this. He doesn't need confirmation. He knows the same I do.
meaning he knows when the market is gonna do this kind of reversals. The thing is that he knows more than me, of course. I'm a starter. I have almost a year doing this by my own, of course, with the basics from him. He is my mentor and I respect him, and I know he knows more than what he teaches. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. Okay, guys. So sorry, I received a phone call because I'm selling my motorcycle, and so that was a possible buyer. Let's see. So guys, here we have two displacements to the downside. I don't like this displacement too much, but I'm going to take a trade here. I think. Let me see. I don't think if I should take a trade, but I really think this is gonna be it. This is gonna be the drop. So I really think I kinda want the trade here. This is the, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm doubting it. When I doubt it, it's kinda, but I'm taking it. I didn't want to do it because I already have some profit, and I think it's kinda risky to do it. So I will probably get out of the trade really soon because, but I think this is gonna be the movement that I've been waiting. That's gonna at least reach here, so I think this is gonna be it. But either way, I think it's not gonna, you know what, I don't feel I don't feel doing it. So when you don't feel doing something, don't do it. Even if it goes 600 points, even if it doesn't, don't do it. Why? Because if you already feel content, if you already feel like the day ended, sorry, 1 second. Even if you feel like it's gonna do 600 points and all of a sudden it happens and you miss those 600 points, you will have plenty of time to do more 600 points. So so yeah, even if you feel like that it's gonna do 600 points, don't do it. Okay, like, respect your rules, respect what you think. Look, if I enter here and if I let it run, I would be in drawdown already, and I didn't care before about the drawdown because I was very sure I wasn't end the day in drawdown. But today, since all of this back and forth that we've had, I don't feel the more confident or the most confident person to keep holding it. I think the best movement could happen in the afternoon. So yeah, unless it gave me the best possible scenario and the best bias to go lower, unless that happen, I will stay out of the market. But for now, we keep going back and forth. Yes, this should be the last time we go playing game, but the market doesn't seem like to do anything. We are staying in this range. This is a small consolidation that we had, and I still expect to have some sort of movement to the buy side to fake people and then go lower. So yeah, I described to you guys every movement as it happened. I described to you a 40 points movement, a 35 points movement, a 75 points movement. Also, I described to you this reversal. So I don't know what else you want from me. So yeah, we're going to leave it here for today. It was a great scenario and really good to do an analysis. And yeah, don't worry about it, guys. Tomorrow's gonna be another day. Just wait to see what happens, and that's gonna be it. Have a great day, guys.